Welcome back to Scale Auto Guys Workbench. In my past videos I did a couple of movie cars. One of the more recent ones was I took a 1970 Chevy Chevelle Super Sport and I turned it into the Jack Reacher car. A lot of guys like that video. So today we're going to be doing another movie car. It's another 1970 Chevy Chevelle, and you can probably guess which one it is without even me showing you the box. But while we're here and I have the box in my hands, I might as well go ahead and show you. It's the John Wick version of the 70 Chevelle Super Sport. It's basically the same kit. Let me rephrase that. It is the same kit. It might have a couple of different options, but there we go. Now this kit is small. It's only 82 parts. It probably has the same issues that I had with the Jack Reacher car, where the headlight buckets come through the body there. The holes were too small and I had to kind of bore them out. I did that after the paint because on the Jack Reacher, because I didn't know that was an issue. Now that I know, I'm going to do that ahead of time so I don't run the risk of messing up the paint job. So that's something that you guys need to look out for if you're not aware of it already. Gives you the stock engine. I also saw some parts in there where you can do a very modified engine, dual carburetors, I think. So there you go. That's what the John Wick SS 396 car looks like on the box art. So let's take a look at what comes in the box. Well, first of all, here's the Chevy body. It does need some cleanup work. There is quite a few areas that need some attention, but that's kind of normal. This is an old model, should I say, let me rephrase that, old mold that they use for this model. So you're going to have a lot of flash and that kind of stuff, body lines. You know, there's a couple up here, the mold lines that you have to take care of. There are a couple of dimples back here on the trunk lid. I can feel them where the push pins were. I can feel those on the outside. I'll try to knock those down, but in the past, if it's a dip, I can feel it. If it's a hump like this, it's a little bump right there, there's only so much I can do with that. So I'll try. It's the only thing I can do. Next up is your interior tub, complete with carpet detail in there. Other than that, the door panels are pretty plain. There's not a whole lot of detail to those. Next up is the chassis. Again, it's going to require some cleanup. And it's got a molded in drive shaft. So it's not full detail, but it looks like it's going to have quite a bit of detail. And again, some more flash. I know you guys get angry with me when I point out the flash in these kits, but there's a reason why I do it. I do it because there are folks out there that maybe they haven't bought this kit and they like it, they like the concept of it, but they have no idea what they're getting into when they buy it. So that's what I'm here for, to point out the flaws of the parts in the box before you even take them out, you know, before they're taken out of the box, if that makes any sense. Maybe. Anyway, on to some more. Here's the hood. Not a whole lot of detail underneath there. It's a little bit, but it's very light detail. Oh. Next up is your engine parts and your radiator support wall. Here's your dual exhaust and part of your rear differential, which it looks like is about to snap off of there, so I got to stop messing with it. Here's your firewall. Got pretty decent detail to it. Next up is your seats with center console and your rear seat. The dash that looks, wow. Here's your exhaust pipes and wheel backs. These pins are very important, don't lose them. There's some more engine parts. It gives you a choice for fuel injection or if you want a carbureted engine. Next up is your chrome parts tree. First one is the Krager Super Sport mag wheels, which, you know, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know those are going on that car. Next up, two more sets of wheels. Got your stock, what does Chevy call them? I know Chrysler Corporation calls them Magnums. I'm not sure what Chevrolet calls them, but like a sport rally wheel, I guess, maybe. I don't know about these. These look kind of goofy. But yeah, your front and rear bumpers, and the rear bumper is the taillight holes are hollow, so the clear taillight lenses will go, you know, be easier to see through them, I think. Now this fits right into those openings there, and those you gotta test fit it before you do anything. If it fits really snug, you're going to have to open those holes up a little bit, because once you apply paint, that's going to close that gap a little bit more, and this will not fit. So make sure that you test fit everything before you paint, and remove enough material so that when you get that I don't know, 1 or 2 mil thickness of paint on there, that it's not going to prevent you from putting that grill in place. The kit comes with a single metal axle for the rear, because those pins I showed you just a little bit ago, those are for the front wheels. Here's your tail lights and your interior glass with your headlights, headlight lenses, I should say. Next up is your decal sheet. It gives you gauges and a couple different license plates, side marker lights, different color stripes, black and white, some engine call-outs, your SS call-outs for the side badges. One more thing is, when you take your parts out of the bags, make sure you pour it out on a table or a workbench like I have here. Don't try to dump them out in your hands while you're sitting in a chair over a carpeted floor. The carpet monster is alive and well, and just loves to gobble up any parts that may come flying out of those bags. For example, this steering wheel was loose inside one of those bags. Lately, I have not opened a kit that didn't have loose parts in the bag, so please be careful so you don't lose those parts. It may be a part that you can do away with or bypass, or it may be a vital part that you actually need. Okay, next up are 4 B.F. Goodrich pad printed radial TAs. The tire tread pattern screams Goodyear Polyglass GT, but you take what you can get. I find that silly and interesting because AMT has molds for the radial TAs so that they can make the tires that have the actual radial TA tread patterns. Interesting, huh? I guess doing the pad printing is easier. Last up is your assembly instructions. Gives you all your paint colors and suggestion for exterior colors. Here's your fuel injection system that you can put on there, or you can do it with the stock 4-barrel carburetor. And your final assembly instructions on this side. Like I said, this, I can't stress enough that you need to test fit. Alright guys, this is a small parts count kit. This is a repeat of the Jack Reacher Chevelle that I did not too long ago, so this one should be a fairly quick build. Because this is the the John Wick, I got Jack Reacher on the head. Because this is the John Wick Chevy Chevelle, I am going to go with this duplicolor paint. It is the, I don't know if you can see that, the forest green pearl. It's part number BCC0423. It says it's an original color, a Chrysler color, but it is a very close match for the green on the John Wick Chevy. Now you can probably hunt that down and have the actual true color, or you can do this. This is a good facsimile. I've used this paint on a couple builds now. It lays down really nice, super sweet. I was doing a little research. They recommended using the Duplicolor 1K Clear. I got this at an O'Reilly store. O'Reilly's carries the 1K Clear as well, but the 1K Clear, they recommend that you do not spray that in your house because the smell lingers. It's up to you. If you want to smell the paint, do it in your house. Otherwise, I recommend doing it either outside or in a garage, or if you have a paint booth, by all means go ahead and utilize that. Just wear a respirator, a good respirator, not a paper mask. Now the last time I used this paint, I sprayed the Mod Podge clear sealer, gloss clear sealer over it. According to a Google search, that doesn't work. I proved that it does. So that's an option if you choose to use it. That's totally up to you. So let's get some sub-assemblies done, seat backs put together, engine halves put together, other such items, and we'll head over to the paint booth. We'll lay down some primer and get started on this. So I'll see you at the paint booth. Alright fellas, fresh out of the paint booth. Well, not fresh out, it's been about 24 hours. The body looks fantastic. I didn't shoot it initially. When I set this up to apply the clear coat, I wasn't sure if the clear that I was using was going to react with the paint, so I didn't start up the camera. I just shot the clear, and it turned out way better than I thought it was going to. That's 4 coats of Mod Podge gloss clear spray. You've seen me use that on other vehicles, and I have to admit that turned out way better than I thought it was going to. So in the meantime, I've been doing some assembling of small parts and some touch-up painting. I've got the engine completed. Now normally that would be a black lid on the engine air cleaner, but I decided to put a piece of bare metal foil on there to kind of dress it up a little bit. And I have the decals on the engine air cleaner as well. So that's all set to go in. I did some touch-up painting on the dash. That's set to be put together. The engines, or the seats and everything are not glued in yet. I just kind of threw them together like that to kind of get them out of the way. I did add some chrome paint to the center console, so that's all set to go. I did do a little bit of detailing on the door cards, but they're the detail's so light and faint on those, it's really kind of a waste of time, but I did it anyway. I applied some clear to the frame rails and tester steel to the gas tank, so that's all set to go. I did forget to paint the firewall. Now I know in the actual car it's probably black. I don't know. I haven't been able to find any clear pictures on it, but I just painted this a little bit ago, and the paint, for some reason, that paint, when I used it on the 79 Nova, and there was one other vehicle I think I used it on, I can't remember which one it was, but it was shiny, and I put it on this car and it comes out flat. I don't understand why. And that's why I was a little bit afraid to shoot video of me putting clear on this car body. Like I said, it turned out really super nice. I got to do the bare metal foil on this yet, and I test fit the grill in. I'd had to go into the headlight buckets and scrape out some of that paint because it was fitting really tight, and that's something you got to do with these 70 Chevelle kits. The way the headlights go in, as you can see here, the headlight buckets are molded into the front bumper, and when you put them on the car, you have to kind of come in from behind like this, and then it kind of just fits up into those holes in the body. It kind of comes in from behind, and then you just kind of rotate it up in place. So in case you're wondering, yeah, see, you just kind of like that, and it comes right out. So make sure that you clear out the paint, or try to block the paint from building up in that area when you're painting, so that you can fit this in real easy. I just took the number 11 blade and just kind of scraped around on the inside of it, and that was all set to go. Now I have to apologize to you guys again. You've probably seen posts from me apologizing for not keeping up with my videos. I missed a video a little while back. It was due to an accident that I had been involved in the last day of our camping trip. On the way home, I had a blowout on my camper, and it was just a mess. A lot of things happened that day, and it really kind of set me back. So I'm getting back on track with this build, and hopefully you guys are enjoying this. So let me go ahead and get to the tires, wheels, and etc., and we'll get to building this. Alright fellas, I've got the interior put together. Looks pretty dang green. Yeah, that messed up a little bit back here, but that's alright. You're not going to really see it that well anyway. That turned out pretty good. I wished I could have found a little bit darker green. I was actually looking for a jade green. Hardly anybody makes jade green anymore. Everywhere you look, it's hunter green or emerald green. It's hard to find jade green. I know testers used to make it in these small cans, you know, the ones that are about this size here, the little 3-ounce cans. Many years ago, testers used to make a metallic jade green. They don't make that anymore. Of course, since Rust-Oleum took them over, they don't make a lot of different paints that they used to make. Well, anyway, onto the car. As you can see, I got the rear suspension put in, and that axle's just a little too long. I was going to cut it off, but I decided, nah, just leave it. I still have to do the exhaust manifolds. I was going to go with the headers, but the headers, they curve out away from the exhaust pipe, and I wanted to have the full exhaust system. So I hadn't painted these exhaust manifolds yet at the time, and decided that yeah, I'm gonna have to go with those. So these were just recently painted, and I'm going to have to wait a little bit for those to totally cure. But in the meantime, I got the engine and suspension and everything in. I hope that's is that a okay, it was just the cloth there that was making it wobble. Oop. Sorry about that. I got the base color down on the firewall. Now I know that, like I said earlier, I don't know if this was actually painted body color or if it was black. I can't get any definitive photos that show it. So on my car, it's going to be the same color. I'm going to paint in the detail yet, but that's done. The radiator support wall, got the battery mounted, and it's ready to go in. I have to work on the darkening up the grill and stuff like that, and getting the headlights mounted. So we're coming into the closing stages, if you will, of the build. I think up next we're going to do bare metal foil. So stick around. Alright fellas, guess what time it is? It's bare metal foil time. So we're going to go ahead and get started on the bare metal foil on this car body, I should say, car body. It looks like it's just the wheel trim, wheel well trim I should say, around the windows and door handles. That's about it. So it shouldn't take very long. Let's get started on this. Remember in the past what I've said, what I recommend, I should say, how to do your foil. I usually do about an eighth, maybe not quite an eighth of an inch wide, maybe just a little over a 1/16 of an inch wide little strips. Then measure the length that you need and lay it on here. Cut your strip the length you need. If you go too wide, then you're wasting foil. This stuff is expensive. Well, it's not horribly expensive, but it's too expensive to waste. So that's why you see all these little bits and pieces all over the paper here. I save those when I trim, just in case I need something. I need to just patch a little spot. I have a little tab of foil I can throw in there. It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. So let's get to measuring this first piece I want to do. Now, unfortunately for me, the amount of paint that I put on this body and the amount of clear and the fact that the lines weren't very deep around the window trim, I've kind of washed them out with the paint. So I'm just gonna have to guess. I mean, I can kind of see them there, and as long as I get it kind of straight, I'm good to go. And that's the whole trick about using the ruler to cut that straight, so you have a straight edge to work with in case you do what I did on this particular build. You can kind of make it blend in, and this is looking like about 2 inches, so I'll cut it just a little bit longer than 2 inches and use that. And I'll have a little bit left over, but that's fine. I'm going to cut another strip. Now, I don't measure this, I just kind of guess at it. As long as I have it kind of the same thickness all the way across. Right there. Now, when you get a ruler to do this with, make sure it's one that has a metal edge, or use a steel ruler, because if you have a wood, just a wood edge, this blade will cut right into it and it'll kind of trash it in short order. So I'm going to measure that at about 2 1/4, just to have a little bit of overlap. I forgot, there is one tool that I forgot to get. I like having a toothpick on hand, preferably one that's got a sort of sharp tip on the end of it, and that'll help me get it into the cracks and crevices that, you know, sometimes I need to do that. Alright, get it up under the light here so I can see what I'm doing. I can kind of see that line there. It's not something that's standing out, but I can see where it rides, so I can put the foil right on that line. Okay, I got it kind of stuck in the spot. Now I use an old piece of t-shirt to burnish it down and polish it all at the same time. Make sure you kind of wrap around, go underneath on the inside. Sometimes you have to use your fingernail. Go over, you'll get little bumps and things in it, and you can kind of work them out with running your fingernail over it gently. It doesn't take a lot of pressure, it's just repetitive motions. Okay, and then let's roll it over and let's check on the inside, make sure it's all burnished down in here too. And there you go. Got to just trim up the edges, move on to the next piece. Now this is going to take me a little bit. I'm not going to bore you guys anymore with that. I'll be right back with the finished product. Alright fellas, I got all of the bare metal foil done. Across the hood, around the windshield, wheel wells. I even did a little bit of chrome on the front and rear. And the decal sheet has decals for these, but I decided to put chrome foil and some Tamiya clear orange and red to simulate the side marker lights. I think those turned out a lot better than the decals would. And so the foil is done. I took a couple extra minutes, did the grill with the turn signals. I blackened in the grill, and all we got left now is just final assemblies, decals. That's about it. So I'll see you at the final. Welcome to the final on this 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle Super Sport by AMT. Of course, this car is from the John Wick movie series. Well, more to the point, it was from the first movie in the canon. Later on, it was mostly, well, he did have a Dodge Charger and his famous Ford Mustang, which is a new kit that just came out. I got to get my hands on one of those. But as for this particular kit, this kit has been around for quite a few years now, and it's been produced in several different formats. Same kit, different box art, couple of different little options, maybe a little upgraded decal sheet, but it's basically the same kit. And if you've watched my channel for a while, you'll see that I turned just the regular 70s Chevelle Super Sport kit into the movie car from the Jack Reacher canon. Now, a little history on the GM A-body platform. It got its start in 1964. In its early days, it was more of a boxy body, but in '67, GM switched to the more swoopy design like you see today in this kit. And it stayed in that kit until 1973. It's 73. It switched to back to a more boxy look. Now, GM maintained a strict corporate policy capping intermediate and mid-size cars at a maximum engine size of 400 cubic inches. This restriction was implemented to avoid undercutting the flagship Corvette and to appease safety concerns from the insurance industry. While competitors like Ford and Chrysler dropped massive 428, 440, and 426 Hemi engines into their mid-size cars, GM brands were forced to maximize smaller displacements, yielding famous power plants like the Chevrolet 396 and the Pontiac 400. In 1970, though, everything changed, and Chevrolet unleashed its big block 454 engines in the Chevelle and 455s and pretty much everything else that rode on the A-body platform. As for this AMT kit, it went together so smoothly, it was a real treat. Having built a few of these over the years, I know some of the pitfalls of the kit, like the headlight buckets. Now, I did trim out some of the plastic before I even put the first drop of paint on the body, and I still had to repeat the process on final assembly. Those headlight buckets fit into the body so tightly that any little thickness of anything makes it difficult to put them in there. So I had to take my number 11 blade, as I discussed earlier in the video, had to kind of trim some of that back out of there to get that grill to fit back in place. So come to think of it, that was just about the only flaw on this kit. After I got the grill in place, I did put a drop of Mod Podge glue on the back side of the grill in the corners behind the headlight buckets and right there in the corner where the fenders meet. Now the glass, when I put the glass in there, due to a lack of curvature in those little beams that go between the front and rear glass. I had to put a little bit of weight on there for 5 or 10 minutes until the glue cured. I had contemplated just cutting those beams out and putting the front and rear glass in by itself, but I decided to go with what was there. Now let's talk about the paint a little bit. The Duplicolor forest green paint, according to the can, it says it's a Chrysler color, but it was a near perfect match for the Chevrolet forest green, which carries the GM paint code 48, also referred to by its manufacturing code WA3970. I did go ahead and add a 4th coat of the Mod Podge gloss clear sealer, and I'm glad I did because it kicked it up a couple of notches. The decals went on smoothly and gave me enough time to get them in position before they set. Now you notice I have a license plate on the front of this car. This car does not come, or should I say this kit doesn't come with a front license plate bracket. Luckily I had some left over from previous kits, and I just added that to the front bumper so that the license plate had something to mount to other than the curvature of the bumper, which would have looked kind of silly. The license plates are the correct license plates for the movie version of this car. So if you're planning on building this car and you want the front license plate on it, you'll have to either make a holder for it, or if you have some extras laying around, you can go ahead and glue it in place and you'll be good to go. Well, another great build is complete. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, do me a favor and click that thumbs up, share, and hype buttons. It goes a long way in telling the YouTube algorithm that folks like you are enjoying my content, and it will share my content with other like-minded folks. If you have any questions or comments, please write those in the comments section below, and I'll be happy to respond as soon as possible. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, or you can drop me a line at scaleautoguy@gmail.com. If you want more videos like this one, make sure to hit the subscribe button below, and make sure to hit the bell icon and select the all option so that you'll be notified when I post new videos. Thanks for watching Scale Auto Guy's Workbench, and I'll see you on the next build.